everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we are starting 2019 off with a haul. I'm not really surprised. You know the whole like begin as you mean to go on movement that's happening? This is how I mean to go on. I don't think I have technically done a haul since October, which means this has just been piling up for a long time. This also means that I'm probably missing stuff from this haul, but this is a full TBR cart. Like, you can't see the bottom two shelves, but they are also full. So I have a book outlet order. I have just books that I've been accumulating since October that I don't think I've mentioned in a haul, I think, on my channel. I'm not really sure. I have Christmas gifts. I have bookish things. So I'm just gonna get into it so that we can, like, make some progress on this. It's gonna be a long video. Grab a snack. I think I'm going to empty this cart out so that I can kind of fill it as I go through books. So I'm gonna do that really quick and I will see you guys in like a second. But for me, it's gonna be a long time because I have a lot of books to remove right now. So hold on. Okay, we are back with a fresh, empty cart. Time to fill it because this is gonna go really fast. I'm gonna start with bookish items. The first two things that I have to mention are these two book sleeves. So I am starting my journey into repping on Instagram. You guys know that I am a rep for a lot of boxes on YouTube, but I've never exclusively repped for a company on my Bookstagram account, which I will leave linked down below. But I kind of wanted to start the journey in 2019 because why not? I really enjoy photography. It's a path that I'm trekking down. These two book sleeves are my first two that I have received as a rep package from So Happy Stitch Happy. I will leave all of the information linked down below. I am actually going to be doing a giveaway with one of these. So they will be featured more on my Bookstagram account rather than here. So I got these. I'm very excited about them. Let's get into this. I'm gonna backtrack, I think, as far as I can remember with these books and try and talk about them coherently, but these are in no particular order. I'm also covering many genres, many age ranges, and many different gifts that I got for Christmas from a lot of you guys ever since I just kind of subtly put my Amazon wishlist in my description, because that's a movement that I didn't really talk about on my channel, but I really enjoyed seeing. And that is for booktubers or book bloggers or just people in the book community to have their Amazon wishlist ready available for all of their friends so that it's kind of a zero obligation opportunity to give your friends books in the community that you really appreciate. It's a whole thing. I'll probably talk about it in another video, but I have some gifts from you guys as well. Okay, let's just start somewhere. Okay, starting with my December book of the month picks that I chose. I don't think I did November either, now that I think about it. I only have my December books in front of me. I did two this month, and those two are One Day in December by Josie Silver. I think a lot of people got this because it's very fitting for the December season. I have already read this because I wanted to read it in December because relevance, but this one was not for me. I will probably do some sort of a wrap-up. I don't know. I haven't decided. It's a new year. We're gonna work things out as we go. But this is basically a story about a woman who sees a man sitting at a bus stop and falls in love with him. Just like from one look, she knows she's meant to be with him, and it's a long, drawn-out story of like their relationship and how it plays out over the years. It personally was not my cup of tea, but I did read this. I also picked up An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This is the only book of the month that I did not get to this past year, and I'm okay with it because technically this comes out in January, so I'm going to be reading this in January. This is more of a thriller, and book of the month has kind of opened my eyes to thrillers, which is kind of nice because I feel like the ones that they feature are kind of the top ones of the year. But this is basically following a psychological study of anonymous women between the ages of 18 and 32 to participate in like an ethics and morality psychological study, and questionable things start to happen in this study, and our protagonist starts to like feel very uncomfortable and not know what is part of the study and what is not okay with her. So it sounds like it's going to be like a really intense, high stakes, mind F of a book. So I'm excited to get to this. I am going to be picking this up in January. If any of you also still have this left over and would like to read with me, the option is there. Getting into the couple arcs that I have received that I don't think I've technically hauled. I've definitely talked about on my channel. But the first one is Slayer by Kiersten White. This literally comes out in like a couple days, so I really need to read this. But like I've said in all previous videos, I'm terrified of reading this because Buffy is my biggest fandom that I've been a part of for so many years. And I'm scared of it being touched and ruined, but I have faith in Kiersten White. This is a book that is following the next Slayer in the cycle. Like Buffy is still technically in, I think, this book, but due to events that happened at the end of the TV show, other Slayers are present. But basically, this is the story of the last Slayer, and I don't know what that means. I'm terrified, okay? I'm scared of this book, but I'm so excited. This is one of my most anticipated reads of 2019, so we're gonna be picking up very soon. I also got In an Absent Dream by Shauna Maguire for Christmas from my mother, because my mom is a librarian, so they occasionally get ARCs as well that they need to find homes for at some point. And this is the 4th book in the Wayward Children series. This also comes out in January, so I need to get on this very fast. But she basically texted me a picture of this saying, do I want this? Because she had never heard of the series, and I was just like, that is a unicorn! So I said yes, and she gave it to me for Christmas. I'm very excited to get to this. So moving into random purchases that I have made since my last haul. I'm not hauling all of them, but I have a lot of random Christmas holiday themed books that I got for all of the readathons that I was doing. I got through about half of them, and I think I'm gonna put the rest away for next Christmas if I'm feeling very festive next year. But I don't have all of them in front of me. A lot of them were just cheesy, mass market, famous romance author Christmas reads, but I did pick up I'll Be Home for Christmas, and this is a UK anthology of Christmas stories. This is basically a UK version of My True Love Gave to Me, you know, the like anthology of a ton of YA authors doing holiday stories. This is like a UK version of it, but I saw somebody haul it and I was like, that's a really cute cover. Also, wha-bam! It's got sprayed edges, and I am trash. I am a heaping pile of garbage for sprayed edges when I see them. So I had to get this. So I ordered this from Book Depository if you guys are curious. And along with that order, I also got 3 books that I never planned on getting. So I got new editions of The Hunger Games. This is a series that is one of the most like beloved series in the YA world. It's been around forever. Everybody already has it on their shelves. So I really wasn't planning on getting any more versions other than the ones that I read back in the day. But then, like this book, I saw somebody haul it on, I think, Bookstagram, and I was like, I need those. So I placed the order for this along with these because these are UK editions. So these are the UK, how can I hold 3 books up well? These are the UK anniversary editions of The Hunger Games, and I basically saw these covers and was like, yep, I need those in my life. So I adore these. This is The Hunger Games. I like that it has the district symbols on it, so this has the District 12 symbol on like kind of a like weathered wood pattern, and they all have May the Odds Be Ever in Your Favor on the back, and these are just, I love these. The second one has like flower petals, and it has the capital symbol on it, and it wraps around to the back. And Mockingjay is my personal favorite. This is just totally my aesthetic. I love that it has like these brambles across it, and I like the like white and orange and brown aesthetic that we have going on, and it wraps around to the back. So like I said, I was never planning on getting additional copies of these, but then I saw somebody haul them and I was like, God, I need those, so I bought them. Another book that I really wasn't planning on getting additional copies of, Stop Falling Over, is Fangirl. So Fangirl is one of my all-time favorite books, and I actually just recently reread this, and I purposely reread it to see if it was worth getting this copy for, and it totally is. This is still a 5-star read for me. This is still one of my favorite YA contemporaries that are out there, but this is the paperback version, which if you guys didn't know, is being released with mint sprayed edges. I have to have it. So not only does it have sprayed edges, but it also has fan art, like gorgeous, gorgeous fan art inside the end pages of it, which is super uncommon for paperbacks. So those things were selling me on it. Like I have the original hardback when that came out, but I was like, do I need a second copy? The answer is yes, because of all these features that I've already listed, but also because I found out that Rainbow Rowell was working with an independent bookstore close to where she lives and doing signed and personalized copies that you could order from the bookstore. I own this now. The next book that I have to show you is another spontaneous purchase that I made, and I didn't know I needed in my life until I saw people hauling it, and that is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. So Alice Oseman wrote Radio Silence and 2 other books, Solitaire and what was this year's release? It's orange. The UK cover is orange. I forget. But I just recently read Radio Silence and I fell in love with her writing, much like a lot of other people, and she's very big right now. So this is actually a graphic novel that she has been publishing on her Tumblr for free, which you can always go and read this if you would like to read it along with me, for a very long time, and she actually started a Kickstarter to self-publish physical copies of this. This is only volume 1. So this is only so much of it, and the story continues on her Tumblr, so you can keep reading it. But I missed the Kickstarter because I didn't know it existed until I started seeing my friends hauling this. This was one of the perks where if you contributed to the Kickstarter, you received a physical copy. Basically, I saw my friends hauling this, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that existed, and I needed it. And fortunately, she had like 100 copies left over from the Kickstarter campaign that she was just gonna sell, and I managed to snag one. But I'm not sure if she has any available still if you guys would like to get your hands on this, but it is going to be published, I think, later this year or next year. So this is coming, but I was just desperate to get my hands on a copy of this, and I don't own that many graphic novels, but if I'm gonna read any, it's gonna be by Alice Oseman. This is just a really adorable male-male romance that I can't wait to start and continue reading on her Tumblr until the next volume is published. And I have 2 books that I got from, I think, the Black Friday Amazon coupon deal thing that gets me every single time. Those 2 books are Into the Drowning Deep by Byra Grant. I have talked a lot about this book. I'm going to do a full review so I can extensively talk about this story because this is one of my favorite books of last year, but I did technically buy this, and in order to like meet the coupon requirements, I think I need to get up to a certain amount. I also added The Darkest Star by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is, I believe, kind of a spin-off companion type novel to her Lux series. Like, this follows a different brother. And I'm kind of trash for that series. Still, I'm also going to a Polycon in March, and that is Jennifer L. Armentrout's book event. So I felt the need to get more of her books. It happened. I picked up a copy of Berserker by Emmy Laybourne. This is a book that's been on my radar since it came out, I think, in 2017. This is a Viking Norse mythology inspired Wild West journey story that sounded amazing, and I believe the sequel is coming out soon. This is a book that I've been really wanting to get to. I devour Viking stories, and this is just one that I've heard really good things about, but I don't see talked about on BookTube very often. So I picked up a copy. I think it was on sale on Amazon for like $7 or $8 one day, so I grabbed it so that I could read this in time for the second book to come out. I also picked up What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, which is one of my most anticipated 2018 releases that I never got around to reading, but this is a duo that I adore. I've read all of their books. No, I haven't finished Adam's books yet, but I've read all of her books, and I love that they're like real life best friends. I just love their friendship. I love their books. And I believe this is another, like, male-male meet-cute romance that I have been wanting to read. It's adorably peach. This book is adorable. It was on sale. I bought it. It happened. Let's move on. One spontaneous purchase that I made, we were hanging out in the dollar store one day because it was the only store that was open while we were waiting for our, like, movie time. We were going to see a movie. The tickets were very late, and there were no other stores open except the dollar store, so I was in there. They have a book section, which means the books are $1, so that's enticing to me, but they're usually not great books. But I did find this book. You guys may be questioning my reading taste at this point, but this is Down the Rabbit Hole by Holly Madison. Do you guys remember the show, The Girls Next Door? It was a show about the Playboy bunnies and their life at the mansion. It was fascinating to me. I watched every episode of that. It's just a lifestyle that is just so foreign and appealing and interesting to me. It was a thing that I did as a teenager. I watched the show. But this is kind of a behind the scenes look by one of the Playmates. I've always wanted to read it, and it was $1. So now I have it. So I got a copy of Infamy by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the sequel to Amor Amor, which I got a while ago, and I just recently got around to reading it. And this is possibly one of my favorite new adult stories of all time. This is a new adult romance that, well, this is the sequel. This is following a different set of characters that takes place at like a Cirque du Soleil setting. Like, it follows the performers who are on like a Vegas aerial circus acrobatic type show, which is one of the most appealing things to me. So it's like two buzzwords. It's like new adult romance, circus. Sold. So I read the first one, I devoured it in like a day, and I needed this, so I asked for this for Christmas, and I received it. Also received the sequel to Before She Ignites, and that is As She Ascends, so I asked for this because this is a duology that I have been wanting to read for so long, and now that the sequel is out, I can just binge through it. This is a fantasy story that deals with dragons, but it also deals with a protagonist with anxiety, and I adore any book that deals with mental illness, or mental health in general, but I extra adore it if it's going to be woven into a fantasy setting. That's amazing. I love that. I like seeing representation in different types of genres, not just contemporary, so this is one that I've been wanting to get to for a long time, so now I technically have both. I'm very excited and thankful to have received this. Okay, I also asked for a copy of Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend, because I've been hearing so much hype about this. This is huge on BookTube right now. It's being pitched as being super similar to Harry Potter, and I, like everybody else in the world, hears that and just cringes, because nothing is going to be Harry Potter. Like, nothing. You might try and write a magical school setting, but it's never going to be Harry Potter. So, I agree in that the feeling you get when you read this book is very similar to the feeling you get when you read Harry Potter. It's just a, like, wonderful world of quirky characters, and there is magic in it. It's super different from Hogwarts. Like, it's not even close to the same type of story, but the feeling you get when you read it is so nostalgic and comforting. That's the only way I can describe it. I have already read this. I adored it. I loved it so much. My lovely fiance got this for me, which was just amazing. I'm so excited to own a copy of this because it's stunning. I love this book. I'm gonna reread it so many times. But then the amazing Amber, who is one of my best bookish friends to talk with, gifted me a copy of Wondersmith, which is the sequel, so now I have this to read. I haven't read the second one. I've read the first one, but now I have both, and I'm so excited. So thank you so much to Amber for this. I adore it. And Amber also got me Wild Blue Wonder by Carly Sorosiak off of my wish list. This is a book that I feel like has not been talked about very much. I believe this is a contemporary story that deals with grief, but it also has touches of magical realism in it. And I've just heard amazing things about it from the few people who have read it, and I have been desperate to get my hands on it. Also, it's gorgeous. It's stunning. I am so appreciative of it, so thank you so much, Amber. I love your friendship. I'm so blessed. And then my dear friend Julie from Pages and Pens here on YouTube sent me a copy of The Storyteller. This is the third book in, okay, they changed the name of the series. This is now called the Reader Trilogy, but the first two books, I believe, are called book 1 and 2 of Sea of Ink and Gold. So I think they changed the series, but I love the first book, and I actually haven't binged through the second two yet, so I think I'm actually going to reread the first and complete my way through this trilogy. So thank you so much to Julie. Your friendship is like my favorite thing to happen in 2018. I'm so glad that we started talking and buddy reading stuff together, so thank you so much for this. We have adjusted the camera angle because my battery died, so I took that as the chance to like pan it slightly lower, but I'm already full on the second shelf, so we're moving down to the third that, again, you won't be able to see. That's okay. But moving into more gifts that I received from the lovely Kathy Summers here, who I believe is just a viewer of mine, so thank you so much. I received a copy of Summerbird Blue by Akimi Don Bowman. You guys know that I just featured Starfish as one of my top books of 2018. This is her 2018 release though, and I have been dying to get to it considering how much I love Starfish. So thank you so much, Kathy, for this. And she also sent me a copy of Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett. This is one of my favorite and I think one of the most underhyped fantasy series that came out. I believe the sequel is coming out this year, so I am so excited to own a copy so that I can reread it in time for the sequel to come out. I adored this book. I'm so grateful to have received a copy of this. Thank you so much, Kathy, for sending these my way. And then my dear friend Shayna sent me this copy of Green Rider. Look how precious it is. It's like a tiny little library binding of it. So this is the first book in the Green Rider series by Kristen Britton, which is one of her favorite series of all time, and she's been trying to get me to read it for like years now. But I have books like 2 through 6, and now I have book 1, and I'm so excited to finally get to this winter. So thank you so much, Shayna. Your friendship is like my favorite. I just adore you. So thank you so much. Okay, we're moving into Book Outlet. This is not nearly as long as my last book outlet haul. This was just a spontaneous series purchase that I made after the Black Friday debacle that happened. I bought a lot of books. So these are just random spontaneous books. I've already opened this and looked through them. Let's be real. I couldn't wait that long. First one is The Queens of Fenburn, which is like the companion novellas to the... what's this series called? The Three Dark Crowns series by Kendara Blake. So I'm very excited to get this. I'm bummed that they only released this in paperback version because I want it to match the hardbacks that I have of the series, but that's okay. At least the covers match. So this is on Book Outlet right now if you guys are curious. You can grab this for super cheap. I also picked up the first 3 books of the Immortals. Is that what this is called? The Immortal series by Tamra Pierce, which is an author that I never read growing up, and I feel like I missed out big time. I just didn't really read fantasy as a young reader. It just was not a thing that appealed to me that much outside of like Harry Potter. Oh, this is books 1, which is Wild Magic. We got a lovely honey badger on the front. Probably not a honey badger, but you know, reppin' Hufflepuffs right now. Book 2, which is Wolf Speaker. Got a lovely howling wolf. And then we have book 3, which is Emperor Mage. I believe book 4 is on there, but it's in hardback or something, so I got the first 3 to give them a shot. This is a series that has been recommended to me a lot because animals are clearly featured in this as a main component, and everybody knows I love reading books about animals. So they release these with new covers, and I kind of dig the new covers, so I picked these up when I saw like the first 3 that I could get matching on Book Outlet. I also picked up the trilogy of Shatter Me and the novella that they have on there because, okay, so I read Shatter Me way back in the day. I actually had an arc of Shatter Me. I have since sent it to Whitney. Never fear. She owns it now. But this, mainly Whitney from Witty Novels, is the reason that I'm getting this because she is so diehard about this series that like it kind of encourages you to read it even if you didn't really love the first one. I remember reading this and loving the writing in it. Tahira Mafi's writing is just very unique and it's very descriptive in such a unique way. So I have since reread Shatter Me and I am about halfway through Unravel Me right now. So I am halfway through the series mainly because she is continuing the series now. Like this was a completed trilogy with novellas. Like this was completed years ago and she is now coming back to the world and everybody's loving the new books that are coming out. So when I saw all of them with the matching eye covers, like these covers, let's be real, they're gorgeous. Like they're the eyes with like the natural things and the eyelashes. They're stunning. I picked these up because they were only a couple bucks a piece on Book Outlet. So I now own these and I'm actually currently reading them. So that's a legitimate book haul excuse, right? Also picked up book 5 of the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. This is Crystal Storm. I haven't started the series, but the goal is to have all 6 of them before I start it so that I can binge through it because I've been steadily picking these up from Book Outlet whenever they add a new one. So I only have 1 more to go. I have books 1 through 5 now, so I'm so close. I'm so close to reading these. And I've heard really good things about this, and she has kind of continued into spin-off series, and I want to read those, but you need to read these first, so I'm excited to have this. The last book that I have in this haul, and from the Book Outlet order, is The Tumbling Turner Sisters by Juliette Fay. This is obviously a circus setting, and I pretty much will read anything that is set at a circus, at a sideshow, at a freak show, at a Cirque du Soleil type setting, as you guys know. And this is one that has been recommended to me a lot. Blurbed by Sarah Gruen, who wrote Water for Elephants, so I take that as a good sign. And I have heard, oh, look at the end pages. I didn't even look. I didn't even open the book. Look how gorgeous that is. That is stunning. So this is following a family in 1919, the Turners, obviously, who are barely scraping by in old New York City. And the father of this family crushes his hand at work and can no longer provide. So the women basically take it upon themselves to make a living for themselves and for this family by joining the circus. And they don't really have any sort of skills, but they put together like a ragtag acrobatic tumbling performance. And the agent and owner of the show takes them on because he basically tells them that pretty girls in short skirts sell. So they kind of join the circus lifestyle and they find themselves among all of these really diverse performers who all have very different backgrounds, but they are all in the like freak show category. So it's going to be a found family type of situation. I've heard the writing is stunning in this. And again, if I find a book set at a circus. I'm going to own it, and I'm going to read it and love it. That's my life. That is it for this haul. For all of you who stuck by until this point, good for you, because this was a long one, but I might as well start the year off with how I intend to continue doing things. I buy a lot of books, I consume a lot of books, it's what my life is. So, you guys can't even see down to the floor. There's stacks on the floor and a full third shelf on my TBR cart. But this, I think, is everything that I have accumulated since my last haul. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have read any of these, let me know what you think of them down in the comments. Hit the subscribe button because I have big things coming in 2019. And that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one.